right, you're welcome back to the second segment of our program today, talking about the marital matters. Today we're going to be talking about, we started in the first edition, we were talking about the issues of marital discourse and how that can be debilitating as far as the marriages are concerned. But today we're going to be talking about threats to family communication, because we analyzed the last episode. We had discussion on marital discourse, that communication flow is a problem. Lack of communication flow rather is a problem that can actually act as a cog on the wheel of the progress of the family. And to that extent, we try to discuss the issue of marriages and how we can communicate in our homes. This is important here for us to note. Now, today we're going to be talking about some of the threats to family communication, and this is more of attitude, because if our attitude while staying together as a family is poor, then it shows that we're not going to be at the best of ourselves living together. The livingness is going to be very poor. Once the livingness is poor, we're not flowing together, then it's going to be a challenge of the family knitting together as one. Now, like I said earlier, it's more of attitude here, because many of the things that set couples apart are attitude based. In their inability to actually meet themselves the halfway could be a problem to the family. The first thing I'm going to mention here is what I call the I don't care attitude. The I don't care attitude, implying that when spouses' complaints are not really attended to, all the time you don't care about what the feelings of your partner is. You just feel that he is on his own and she is on her own. Everybody goes separate ways, and everybody does things still in the same house. Everybody does things differently, and nobody cares about the other. This I don't care attitude, when your spouse have a complaint, you show a kind of frigidity in terms of attending to the complaint of your spouse. This can be a very, very bad one, because when your partner, your spouse, either your husband or wife, now discovers that you don't have time to listen to her issues, you don't show concern, then it can lead to breakdown of the link between you both, and with time you lose that coherence, that coherence, what bound you together. You begin to lose them, because each time you want to talk about, I don't care about this, I don't care about that, this kind of feelings is not a very good one in family relationship. Number two is taking issue discussed for granted. When an issue comes up for discussion and you feel that she be not my husband, I beg you, she be not my wife, I beg you, things like this can actually become a big problem, because that once your wife knows that my husband doesn't care about me, or once your husband knows that my wife doesn't care about me, it's a big challenge to family flowing together, and it could be a discordant issue, can bring discord to the family. May Allah protect our homes. So to that extent, taking issues for granted is a serious issue. For example, if your wife tells you, darling, you're hurting me with the way you're doing this, or your husband tells you, darling, I don't like this kind of a thing, you just took it for granted. That is nothing will happen. You feel nothing's going to happen, but the guy is hurting, and you feel that you need to have a change, and you take the issues on the table for granted. This is not a very good development for the family. The next point I'm going to mention here is constantly postponing discussions. That we have issues to talk about, and you feel that I beg I don't get time, I beg I know day. These are things that can make the family to run into crises. When you constantly postpone and you give priority to external things happening outside the home, people outside have your attention, but your wife, your husband does not have your attention. Excuse me. People outside feels you're a good person, but your wife, your husband knows that you are not a good person. You're given a different image of yourself outside and a different image of yourself inside. And with due respect, you want to go out as a guy. That is the time you dress well. But out in the home, you don't dress well for your wife. You want to go out as a wife. That is the time you dress well, you make up, you do everything, but you don't dress well for your husband. You don't apply all this stuff for your husband. You don't wake up for your husband. You don't do, excuse me, what's happening here? Because in this instance, it shows that you're not taking the issues, between the issues of your relationship very seriously. This is important. Let it be that your priority, your attention is focused first and foremost on the family. Once that happens, it's better. If that doesn't happen, then it's not really a good one. So it is important, therefore, for us to be attentive and avid at, discussing and attending to issues amongst ourselves. We're going to open the phone lines now. If you have a call, please call the studio line 070-7242-6258. I repeat, 070-7242-6258. 070, like I said, 7242-6258. I don't know if you have a call here, but we're going to continue with our discussion. If you have a caller, then we pick it up and then we will be able to attend to that. The next point we're going to be talking about is when there is lack of listening here. Okay, we got a caller here. Hello? 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 Okay, just missed that call. Okay, we missed that call. Now, lack of listening here to the discussion between husband and wife. Now, this is important because, especially, and with due respect to the male folk.
Hello?
Hello?
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon to you, sir. May I know your name and where you're calling from?
My name is Victor.
Can you switch off your radio? Stay away from it, please.
My name is Victor.
You're welcome, sir. You're welcome.
Hello?
Yeah, you speak on. We're listening to you, please.
Okay. What I want to understand is that in Korea, they say that who kills fast is going to heaven. Is it true?
Thank you very much, Mr. Victor, for your question. It says that in the Quran it was mentioned that he who kills fast is the one that will go to heaven. Oh, man. Now, the question I'm going to ask with this, thank you very much for this question. It's a very beautiful question. Kill who? The Almighty Creator creates us with His mercy. And then you kill what God has made and you want to go to heaven? I'm sure that is not God Almighty's heaven. Maybe devil has a heaven. Excuse me, madam. Maybe devil has a heaven somewhere. I don't know. But thank you very much, the caller. It is not anywhere in the Quran that he who kills past will go to heaven. And many people go about with this kind of statement, well, it takes time for us to correct this. No thanks to Boko Haram, no thanks to ISIL and all this. This video still resonates in the minds of many people when they hold knives to the people's neck and mention Allahu Akbar. Hey, excuse me, you say God is great and you're killing the creatures of God? Come on, man. This is ludicrous. It's unfathomable. Anyway, thank you for your call, Mr. Victor. Thank you. The call keeps coming. Now, back to our discussion. Lack of giving the listening ear to your spouse can actually be a big problem. Let me give an example. Your wife is at home, your husband is at home, and yet you pay attention to the TV. Or these days, you pay attention to your phone. Hello? Hello, can you speak up, please?
Okay. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. May I know your name, where you're calling from, please? Sorry, can you please speak up, please? Okay, yeah, speak on. We can barely hear you. Yeah, speak on, please. Okay, we just missed the call. Please find time to call back and be in a better location for us to be able to hear ourselves clearly. Now, if you don't give a listening ear to your spouse, like I mentioned, you are at home and you're holding your phone with you. The husband is doing something like, hello?
Hello?
Hello? Good afternoon. Hello, may I know your name and where you're calling from, sir?
My name is Mr. Alexander Akua.
Okay.
My name is Mr. Alexander Akua.
You're welcome, sir.
And clearly, with goodness is going to be.
Thank you very much, sir.
Can you hear me?
Yes, it's blurry a bit.
I so much enjoy the program because I do listen all about the programs and the program is very important. And that's it.
Thank you very much.
The way you think about the God and whatever, in fact, I really admire it, I love it, and the day is fine. So I think it is very important. And if the issue of complication is and this that you are writing, you are so much wonderful and so much important. I believe that if we do understand this ourselves, then the issue of this and whatever will not be an issue. Because the question is so much simple and there is not. You still need to really love to hear it.
Thank you.
So I just want to make my contribution and I would want to thank you so that you can continue with this program.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate this very impressive comment. I'm really encouraged with it. Thank you so much. God bless you. Let's the call keep coming. 070-7242-6258. We got a call here. Hello. Good afternoon, sir. May we know your name? Where you're calling from, sir?
Speaking from Nasarawa State.
You're welcome, sir.
I really want to comment God, and moreover, you see, if we could have at the end of you, the society, I think there will be peace in Nigeria or all over the world.
Thank you very much.
This is the kind of preaching that we need, in the world. So, and for us to believe that indeed it is only one God we have. So, one should not discriminate. I am a Muslim, I'm a Christian, I'm a pagan, I'm a whatever. It is only one God. And I believe so. I listened to your words from the beginning. You really put things in shape. And I believe God, I pray that God will give more wisdom and understanding. And this program should not stop because it will enlighten people. It will make people understand the difference between human and God.
Thank you very
To
much.
make people to understand that it is God, only one God that created everything, especially when one is in challenges like this. One should believe and know truly that indeed it is God that makes all, both good, both bad, and whatever. If God will not test one, why? I mean, for example, let's just say we human. If we did not deal with one, know about one, test one in one way or the other, how will one know if one is good or not?
Absolutely.
So Absolutely. If one find himself in any challenges, we should always believe that it is God, and he knows how he made things happen for better. Check the people of Israel like what he said. I think that gets me.
Yes, I can hear you. We're with you.
Check the people of Israel like, before they could get to the promise.
Oh, sorry, we missed you. Thank you very much, my brother, for the encouraging statement, and we're really enthused with it. Give us more zest to continue with this, God willing, and we really appreciate you. Okay, the point we were on is lack of listening ear, because if you don't give a listening ear to your spouse, you're paying attention to an online friend, excuse me, and yet your friend who is close to you, no attention, no nothing. It doesn't add up that way. You're not paying attention to your friend, your spouse, your husband, your wife. 247 you are with your phone. Excuse me, something is wrong here. So this kind of development, if it continues, your wife knows that you are always 247 with your laptop. You are busy in the office, you're busy with your laptop at home. 12 midnight you are saying, excuse me. It's not fair. It's not fair. Let us have a time when the family will communicate. When I say family, I'm talking about the husband and the wife. In fact, sometimes you need to leave the children out. Because somehow we tend to communicate, we tend to concentrate on my children, what about your wife? What about your husband? There is a need for us to give listening ear to ourselves, especially on issues of the family. It is important. I only pray Allah in His mercy to give us the understanding to be able to live together as one in our various families. Furthermore, when you make threatening comments to your spouse, your husband, your wife, it's not fair. And with due respect to the men, I know men have this kind of ego problem. If I catch you, it's kind of, I will deal with you. You go see what thing I go do. These are things that shouldn't happen between you. You're not talking to a slave, not your house help, not anybody. You're talking to your wife. You're talking to your husband. You can't afford to talk to your husband like you talk to other men. You can't afford to talk to your wife like you talk to other women. There should be a difference. Make people know, say, now madam in the talk to. Make people know, say, now or guy in the talk to. There should be a difference. Do you understand what I'm talking about here? So the emphasis here is that threatening comments like, I will deal with you. Don't you know who you're talking to? Don't you ever talk to me about it? These are things that shouldn't happen between husband and wife, because when it happens, it only brings about like a brick wall in the relationship. And furthermore, the call keep coming 07072426258 07072426258. Going forward, the know-it-all attitude is another problem. When a man feels that now me sabi everything, now only me sabi, no other person sabi, now only me, it's a problem. Because sometimes, no matter how intelligent or brilliant you might be, sometimes you will be wrong.
Hello?
Hello, sir.
Hello?
Hello. Good afternoon. May we meet you and where you're calling from, sir?
This is Mr. Victor again.
Okay, you're welcome, sir.
Okay. What I want to ask you, talk about Jesus in the Korea.
Yes.
I don't know that you people recognize Jesus.
Thank you so much, Mr. Victor. But let me tell you something. Can I tell you something, Mr. Victor? Just hold it. In a whole chapter in the Quran was dedicated to Mary, the mother of Jesus. A whole chapter. And you can dedicate a chapter to someone to abuse, to insult, and whatever. No. This chapter was dedicated to Mary and Jesus with theology. And I beg you find time to read it. Chapter 19 of the Quran. It talks about Mary as a decent woman, a virgin, and talks about Jesus as a very noble messenger of the Almighty.
Okay. But you know that Mary was saved by the Holy Spirit.
Yep, that's true.
Okay.
That's what the Quran mentions it. You can read it yourself. The Quran mentions it. Thank you, Mr. Victor, again. Okay. So like I said, know-it-all attitude is not a very good one in marital relationship, because sometimes you could be wrong. So when you are wrong, and your husband tells you, darling, you are wrong, or your wife tells you, oh, darling, you are wrong. Good afternoon, sir.
Yeah, sorry, this is another equally bad.
Okay.
Honestly speaking, as I was saying.
Okay, can we make it very brief, Mr. Olatunji, because time is almost running out on us. Sorry, please.
No, I just want to. What I say is that you just have 10 people like you. Honestly speaking, the world will be a better place.
Oh my God! Thank you very much for this comment.
More enlightenment, more wisdom, understanding about the word of God.
Amen.
You are doing very better, and God will.
Amen. Thank you very much, my brother. I really, really appreciate this call. I'm not going to take it for granted. Thank you very much. I appreciate you. Now, back to our discussion. Know-it-all attitude is destructive because it makes you to worship your ego, to luxuriate your ego. And then everybody talks about what you don't like, and you give it hard. Madam talks about, Organo, they do this. Organo talks about, Madam, no, they do this. You visit the person with venomous statement. It's intolerable. This is not good for a relationship, right? Because you can't know it all. Hello? Hello?
Hello?
Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Yeah. Can we meet you and where you're calling from, please?
Oh, I'm calling from Abuja.
Abuja. Okay, what's your name, please?
My name is G.
Okay, go ahead with your question or comment. Okay, as we just lost it now. Now, you don't allow your ego to overcome or overpower you at the instance of your marital issues. You know, when your wife calls your attention to something, your husband calls your attention, draws your attention to something critical about the family, please pay attention to it. Okay, hello, sir. Yes, it's 107.7 Armed Forces Radio. Yes.
I want to speak with the speaker now. Could I speak on the radio?
Okay, we're still live now. We're still live on air. If you want to ask a question, our time is almost running out. You can please call back after the show, then we can pick your call, then we can have a discussion if you want to speak privately.
Okay.
Yes, after the show.
But this is the number you just gave us now.
Okay, when you call back after the show, I'll give you a number to call, then you can have a discussion privately.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. You're welcome. Thank you. Appreciate it.
I mean that this is the number you gave us for questions. That is why.
Yes, this is a number we give out a question, but this is a studio line.
Okay.
You can call back after the show, then we can have a discussion with you.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you. So now the point here is this: we need to understand that we're all humans and nobody is perfect. So when your wife draws your attention to a fault in you, appreciate it. I just say, thank you, darling. It's okay. It's noted. I know, or you have some explanation to give. Then you can explain yourself in a very mild and beautiful way. And I believe with this, the society and the home in particular is going to be a better one. Hello, sir. Hello.
Hello, my name is Colin in Abuja.
You're welcome, sir.
I want to appreciate you for this type of program.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, sir.
It's a wonderful program. So the topic you raised just now, I separate a lot of husband and wife.
Wow.
When a wife is not listening to the husband, really full of himself. Anytime you want to discuss something important for the progress of the family, you not listen to you. Tell you that he's very busy. Doesn't have time now.
Wow.
So as you raise the program now, people that is listening, I know they will benefit a lot from you.
Thank you very much. Yep.
And secondly, last week I'm trying to call, but pick my call is late. I don't know.
Yeah, sorry
the
about
problem, I want to, as you are talking from the Bible, I talking from the Quran. This is a very, very interesting program. But I want to give you one attention that every Friday prayer for Muslims, it is not too early because they don't listen to preaching like the way you are doing now.
Okay.
They don't really go for 5 minutes and come back. And any other day they don't have time to go. So how can they learn a lot of things about life? Because you are somebody that is really educated and you know what I'm talking about. Like all this Alemangiri now. You're not supposed to be in the street, but you can use your preaching to preach to them, to touch them, they will be in picture. It will benefit them a lot.
Absolutely. Thank you very much for your comment, and it's noted, and we're going to try to further resonate the appeal to those concerned about it, and we hope that will be taken, inshallah. Thank you very much, my brother. We really appreciate all the callers. I think we're going to be rounding off with this program now in order to close the session today. Now, having said that, I need to let's do this. Should be the last call for today. Okay. Hello, sir.
Good evening.
Good evening, sir.
I really appreciate your program. It's worth listening to.
Thank you very
much. I have a question.
May we meet you, sir?
My name is Subo.
You're welcome,
calling
sir.
From Hawaii.
You're welcome, sir.
Yeah, I have a question.
Please go ahead.
My question is, how can we, as members of the community or as members of the society, create an environment that will help strengthen marriages?
It's a very important question that you just raised, and I want to. Can I make an appeal to you, sir?
I'm listening.
We'll be coming on air on Monday by 3 o'clock on Monday. I would want you to please call in because this is very critical discussion, and the time is running out on us. And I would really appreciate if you can please call on Monday. Can you please promise that?
It's okay, if only I will remember.
Please do. Please do, man. Thank you so much.
okay.
Lovely
That's okay.
listen to you. Thank you so much. I appreciate. Okay, thank you. Now, to round off this session, it's important for us to note that the happiness of the home is the happiness of the community. If the home is not happy, then the community is going to have a problem. And once the community is having a problem, then the larger society is going to have a problem. We need to get our ass together and make our home to be a haven of happiness, make our children happy, so that the society, the larger society, is going to be a happy one for us all to stay. I want to thank you most profoundly. We hope to see you on Monday by 3 o'clock. Thank you so much for listening. I am Dr. Gidado Taufik Mikdad. Thank you so much.
Hello?
Hello, sir.
Hello?
Hello, I can hear you, sir.
Okay, I'm going to visit Abuja.
I've been
Since I come from
waiting,
Abuja, I love this program.
I've been
And I've been listening to
hurting,
the program.
'cause I've been falling.
I'm not into
Radio Nigeria, uplifting the people and uniting the nation. It's 4 o'clock. This is the network service of Radio Nigeria. Good afternoon and welcome to the news. I am Jeremiah Jime. Third night. President Bola Tinubu swears in Justice Kudirat Kekere-Ekun as acting CJF. Federal government to complete ongoing dam projects across the country. Nigerian Education Loan Fund receives additional 50 billion naira. FISC collaborates traditional
How do you say
rulers
it?
on safety campaigns. The commentary is on the imperative of motivation on the productivity of civil servants. This news is streaming live on RadioNigeria.gov.ng. You can also follow us on Instagram and X at Radio Nigeria HQ and on Facebook at facebook.com/Radio Nigeria Network. Now the news in detail. President Bola Tinubu has sworn in Justice Kudirat Kekere-Ekun as the acting Chief Justice of Nigeria and urged her to ease the administration of justice and promote the rule of law. Justice Kudirat Kekere-Ekun was recommended by the National Judicial Council to replace the retired CJN